to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me in a voice so sweet. I thought I heard the shuffle of angels' feet. There's only one thing to me, he said, do my bit until the river's red.
E aí galera, aqui quem fala é o Mano da Kombi e bem-vindo à parte 2 da live de Call of Juarez Gunslinger. Então vamos continuar na última parte onde nós paramos. Vamos enfrentar o líder da Parte no episódio Danças com os Renegados. Espero que a ventoinha do notebook não apareça no som do microfone.
A bounty was put on Grey Wolf's head, and that's how I came to hunt him in the mountains. Mountains so high they tickle the nether regions of heaven.
Há muito tempo atrás, nas montanhas muito distantes. Mas isso aí foi referência a Star Wars. Ó, já tem um Winchester, dinamite e 2 revólveres.
Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache.
Peraí. Beleza, vamos continuar. Acho que eu vou colocar o Winchester mesmo. Acho que tem 2 caminhos aqui pra nós ir. Vamos pela ponte. Cadê? A Winchester é boa, ainda mais essa versão lendária dela.
And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But now that the shooting has started, there was no backing down.
Eita. Acho que veio um cara de escopeta. Eu não posso dar uma de tanque e avançar com tudo. Vamos sempre priorizar os covers. Desvia para a direita. Cadê? Tô com quanto de munição? 34. Tá. Como é que dá o coice mesmo? AF. Tá. Ah, tá aqui no lado. Eu morri aquela hora, não tinha visto ele. Beleza. Pegar a munição aqui. Espingarda não. Espingarda aqui não compensa muito não. Deixa eu usar o Winchester que aí eu me mira melhor. Bem mais preciso, né? É muito da hora os ornamentos dessa arma, né? As escrituras dela é bem irada. Já pegar a capeta de marfim, se tiver.
was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas.
Não sei se o volume tá muito baixo do jogo. E no tiroteio normalmente fica mais alto, né?
I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did. But then again, I got a lot of them.
Vou aumentar um pouquinho o volume só pra... Dá pra ouvir os diálogos. Acho que eu vou reduzir o volume da... Cadê? Se tiver como reduzir o volume dos tiros... Aqui. Só um pouquinho. O microfone tá ligado aqui? Tá. Beleza. Vamos voltar aqui. Voltar para a ação.
Did you find Grey Wolf? Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
Vasculha as cavernas, procura o lento. Vamos procurar. Pegar o Winchester. Eita, quase que eu errei. Vai ter mais, será?
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure, angry cussedness.
O legal do Silas é que ele tipo, é bem honesto, né, nos sentimentos dele no relato. Quando tiver promoção eu vou comprar o outro carro, o Juarez. Esse é aquele lá, o Decartel, acho que é o segundo que lançou. O pessoal fala muito bem dele. Quando tiver promoção na Steam eu vou comprar.
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide. And I wasn't about to.
Tô com habilidade aqui, será? Não.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit as they had torches on the walls.
Opa. Bom lugar pra jogar dinamite. Opa. Oi? Oi. Daqui a pouco, acho que eu já vou enfrentar o boss aqui, o Lobo Cinzento. Mas é bem legal o confronto dele. Vocês vão ver que vai ter um desfecho bem interessante. Uma pepita. Eu queria uma capeta do marfim aqui. Bem escura essa parte. Opa.
How big was this cave? Big as hell, Ben. Chiricahua had hid out there during the Indian Wars.
Ó, uma brechinha aqui, dá pra tirar aqui. Ó. Opa. Na cara. Oi. Bastante munição de pistola e o Winchester. Tá ótimo.
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
SWSD. Esses berserkers aqui tem que ficar de olho. Ei. Ih, caramba.
A few years back, I was married to two Mescalero women.
At the same time?
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the Cave of Death.
Parecendo aquelas piadas do Faustão, né? Os sketch. Vamos lá.
I came upon this flooded grotto.
E agora é a boss battle.
I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows. And I sensed he meant me no
Ó, o chapéu de
wrong.
plumas, que louco.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on me.
Tá, essa parte aqui é
As his
tenso.
story unfolded in my mind.
Eu já usava em Chester
Come to
mesmo.
this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow. I have no tears.
Apesar que tá no modo slow motion, então tá
He
de boa.
said I was a great warrior, a coyote man, unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior.
Upei.
Something like that.
Vou ficar morrendo e reiniciando essa área aqui. Será que eu consigo farmar?
Echo of the song of the dead summons the
Nossa.
spirits deep from within the mountains.
Deixa eu ver aqui a live, então. Beleza. Bora. Pessoal, se a live tá rodando de boa, não tá
His story
gravando.
unfolded in my mind.
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul will have no rainbow. I have no tears.
He said I was a great warrior, a coyote man,
Já hoje.
unequaled by any other pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
The snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
I
Pera pra
didn't
ver.
quite get what he was
Certinho.
saying, but there was definitely snakes. And
Beleza.
indeed, his warriors
Essa parte aqui que é
surrounded me
tensa.
and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me though, and Grey Wolf wasn't in the mood for idle talk.
De novo ficou cercado, né? Foda. Eu tenho que afiar minha mira aqui. Opa. Vamos deixar eles me flanquear. Opa. Pra ir aqui. Ó. Então riacho. A movimentação fica mais lenta.
I swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap. But suddenly one just appeared. Kinda like a miracle.
Onde? Então vamos subir e vamos escapar daqui. A nossa também tá bobeando, né? Tá indo pra lugar
Cave forever.
onde fica em desvantagem.
Finally, I
Cai minha armadilha.
back outside, perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering white water river. To get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back.
Momento parkour.
I chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that mumbo jumbo.
Mumbo jumbo.
Jumbo's right. Are you making this all up as you go?
Nossa. Tropecei. Ficar usando um revólver aqui, eu vou gastar munição à toa. Vou usar o Winchester. Pelo menos é um shot, um kill aqui. Só se estiver bem perto os inimigos. Vira. Cadê? Ah, tá aqui, ó. Vira.
Steep climb up creek ahead of me and scrambled up those rocks like a mountain goat. I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And wouldn't you know it, that crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
Ei, caramba.
Well,
Passou ele.
son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches around.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you. Come
Você
on.
já tá começando a desacreditar nas histórias.
All right, but I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly,
Quase morrendo aqui.
but there were a lot of them.
Agora é bom o revólver mesmo. Agora vai vir uns Berserkers. Pera. Nossa, tanto. Caramba. Tá. Pô, não tem cover, só tem essas árvores pra se esconder. Cadê? Eu vou... Cadê? Agora tem atrás de mim. Acho que tem mais um. Foi. Pensei que era ia ser mais difícil essa parte. Na última vez que eu joguei, eu perdi um pouco aqui. Na dificuldade alta, né? Agora quando eu tô com essas habilidades, ele fica mais ele tem mais agilidade. E quando você começa no Call of Juarez é meio travado, né? Acho que é meio travado a gameplay. Mas aí depois quando vai desbloqueando, ele vai ficando mais fluido, sabe? Bem mais ágil.
Thank you, darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand.
Eles foram pra onde o Salas queria ir.
Those
Na
Daltons were
narrativa.
lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across
Ó o
the
bigodão dos
territory.
caras.
Until Coffeeville, of course. I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right.
I did my best, sir. We all did.
They call me the Bounty Hunter. A trilha sonora desse jogo também é bem irada.
It was early morning.
Tiroteio na cidade, da hora.
Was a local gunsmith, and he handed
Pegar
out
um
firearms
Chester
to anybody who'd take
e
one.
capeta do marfim,
See,
perfeito.
The Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street. Story was Bob Dalton's girl was always riding him about how he had no ambition. Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off.
Vida louca!
Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their
Toma
property.
tiro! Toma chumbo! O fire rate dessa arma é bem mais alto.
Dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently.
Confronto de narrativas agora. Cada um contando uns.
It was high noon. A posse of US
Do jeito que eu ouvi, eu venceu.
across the street.
Get ready, boys. They're gonna make a move.
All men had been tracking the Daltons for months. Now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
They'll give up eventually. You just gotta hold the son of bitches out.
This bounty hunter knew that the brothers were far too
Já tá com
proud
duas
to ever
pistolas.
lay down their guns. He went in there alone to confront those criminals.
Bora.
One of the marshals shouted, "Where are you going? Are you crazy?"
Hey, where do you think you're going, dumbass? That right on the line.
But he paid him no mind.
Por onde? Por aqui?
He saw a way to get around to the back of the bank.
Tiroteio aqui tá comendo solto.
Figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting.
Desse cara. Aqui tem umas paradas meio de mirror edge, né?
A moment
Que
later, he was climbing
essas colorações pra indicar o caminho.
danger as he did.
No Mirror's Edge é tipo vermelho, né? O vermelho indica o caminho. Quando é porta, canos. Qualquer lugar que dê pra escalar ou fazer parkour.
Risked their lives to tame this wild country.
Aqui, né? Aí, ó. E é os ícones laranja. Acho que ele lançou bem perto do período do Mirror's Edge. 2012, né? 2013 ou 2012, agora não lembro. Tá. Vou entrar.
Heroic men like him, who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Boone,
Cofre vazio.
David Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch. Caramba, o sofá é blindado. Poltrona. Os inimigos aqui são mais complicados. Você vê que eles. Tem uns que tem duas pistolas e tem uns que atira e fica desviando. Acho que agora vai ajudar um pouco as coisas. É aí, ó.
We've got company. Is that Silas Greaves? Son of a bitch!
Tem aqui? Tem. One bullet in your head.
Over there!
That's Silas Greaves.
What the hell?
Blam! Blam! He came away victorious.
Bang, bang.
Taking down those thieving Daltons. His name was Silas Greaves. And when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened. It was early evening, not high noon.
1892 às 6h50 da
We're all
tarde.
set to hightail it out of there. I was late to the party and Coffeeville was already up in arms.
O cara lembra até a hora, né?
Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies.
Irmãos Dalton.
I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. And finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob two banks at the same time in the same town.
Os caras de escudo é chato,
Everybody
né?
knew 'em.
Lembra
They still had
aqueles
friends in Coffeeville.
inimigos do Borderlands 2. E no início, né? Vem os escudos. Qualquer inimigo com escudo é chato de lidar.
Those friends came after me like a pack of wild dogs, tooth and nail. They were coming at me from all directions.
Deixa eu upar aqui. Isso aqui divide a dinamite no ar. Ao apertar G. Ah, vou pegar essa aqui. Aí eu acho que o range aumenta da explosão. Isso aqui é bom. Vou pegar esse aqui pra desbloquear isso aqui, ó.
I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons hole up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were cousins of the Daltons. They
Tá
were
bom.
shooting
O
at the
cara tá
Browns,
afiado aqui.
who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise, because those two families have been feuding forever. And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married a Smith. Well, bullets were flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once.
Tá. Vamos aí aqui. Atingiu ou não? Ah, não, atingiu do teto. Eita.
There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeeville that day. But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
É, cheira rap, verdade. Maior frase de todos os tempos. Uma pepita, né?
Dalton boys knew I would never give up. Those Daltons weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape. The third brother stayed behind to plan me, just in case that trap of theirs didn't work.
Tá, boss battle não lembro como que é.
It was Emma, the youngest.
Acho que ele é escopeteiro, né? É, isso aí. Vai ser complicado também.
He was determined to protect his brothers.
Nossa, esse cara é blindão.
Taking me on all by
Tem que cuidado que 2 tiros já morreu.
recipe for a long life.
Vai, corre, corre. E quando ele cambalear, eu corro. Corre. 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 Fazer esse ritmo. Corre, corre. Nossa. Corre, corre. Cenário bonito, né? Eu vou fazer isso aqui, né? Agora que não veio a minha. É, quando ele cambalear ou quando acabar os tiros, né? Quando ele estiver recarregando. Vai, vai. Vai, vai.
Emma Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeyville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well,
Acho que levou mais
who do
ainda.
you think put all those damn holes in him? But I have to admit, that boy had grit.
Get those suckers!
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this!
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
They seemed as determined as me to find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
Não, podia tirar e
It was
explodir,
early
né,
fall,
também.
right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
Not by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course,
O clima já muda.
so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
Legal, é quando a narrativa vai afetando a gameplay. Uma pepita aqui? Não.
It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood. The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody. Except for some bitches ahead of me wanting to do me harm. So I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
É bem estranho, né? Cadê a galera que veio com nós? Aí tá me tirando a armadilha. Por aqui, será?
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
Uma explosão.
The boys had established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
Deixa eu ver. Ah, legal que o cover é destrutivo. Deu pra destruir? Dançou também. Eu vou avançar pra cá, vou ficar nessa casinha. Acho que tem um berserker que vem aqui, né? Ixi, corre, corre. Ai, filha da puta. De novo aqui. Essa água aqui, ó, acho que tá deixando eu lento. Não sei quem é que joga granada. Ah, todo mundo joga granada. Cadê? Caiu, explodiu. É muito inteligente andar com as dinamite no peito, né? Tô com medo de avançar. Tô na voz de mais de alguém aqui. Ele tá aqui. Espingardeiro. Oi?
Point being, I was under serious attack.
Opa.
My reinforcements was nowhere to be seen. Somebody kill that son bitch!
Vem na perna. Foi. Acho que não tem mais um.
materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view.
Deixa eu pegar munição aqui, né? Já tô com bastante já. Tá bom.
But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running through the bushes. Of course, I followed them. But that goddamn swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was. Steve? So I just started walking. Pretty soon, Steve? Steve?
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
Cadê? Eu acho que o jogo crashou aqui. Pera aí. Aí eu voltei. O jogo tinha crashado, eu acho que crashado, porque a tela tava preta. Mas vamos voltar? Então, cercado de índios, né? De acordo com o Silence aqui. Só pra ver se o Steve tá acordado. Eu não posso morrer aqui também, né? Porque senão a história não continua.
There were Indians.
No.
Aí, ó.
I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
O Dwight tá prestando atenção.
See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
So, where was I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other. bounty hunter! Stop that, so
So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet, but I did find a few of their cousins.
Oi.
Hansons breed like
Pera.
rabbits.
Nossa,
More Smiths,
tô me dando ainda.
offers, or who knows what.
Vou usar um revólver.
But hell,
É mais
what's
agressivo
more
agora.
important than family? I bet Ben knows what I'm
Aí não vai dar muito certo não. Vamos... Vai, vai, vai. Quase. Tiroteio no cemitério, né? Bem sinistro. Nossa, o cara tá escondido esse aqui. Cara. Cadê? Deixa eu recuar um pouco. Cadê o cara? Tinha um ali, né? Ah, aqui. Nas costinhas. Na costelinha. Eita. Cadê o escudeiro? Cadê? Tá sem escudo já. Aí. Tem aqui? É por aqui. Ah, safado. Tentando flanquear, né? Ah, não fez a animaçãozinha? Vou pegar cover. Cadê? Caramba.
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
Pensei que era uma dinamite. Eu acho que já estamos chegando na boss battle aqui.
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat in a swamp?
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
Parece aquele barco do Red Dead 1.
Guess it floated off during
Quando
the
você pega
flood of
aquela
89.
pistola automática,
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
semi-automática, né?
The Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board. It was in that a fusillade of bullets come raining down from on high, and those vigilantes who accompanied me were anywhere to be found. But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces.
Tá cheio de inimigo aqui. Calma aí. Direto ligando? Não. É, o cara tava direto ligando ali. Foi tudo? Foi. Explode. Tô não mais a voz de alguém aqui. Agora invadiu o bairro. Tem uma pepita por aqui? Não.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn.
Tem pra aí? Por aqui, né? Ou... é por aqui mesmo. Pera, tem um cara aqui, né?
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck, pointing me directly at the Daltons.
Hora certa.
Finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit.
É, mesmo, valeu. Ah, finalmente.
But it turned out that they had me.
O Salas vacilou nessa vez, né? Tava na cara. Mas acho que ele tava cego de vingança e nem se ligou. É.
Apparently the vigilantes were on their
Aqui.
damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in a
Did you
fight.
hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
You're talking about the Titanic. If you ask me, it's too blessed big. I don't think it'll run for.
I
So
think.
anyway,
Don't be stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic was unsinkable.
oh God,
But getting back to that steamboat, how did you get off it, Mr. Breeze?
I took in a lot of smoke.
Titanic é uma grande piada divina, né?
Probably a bit hazy, but somehow I managed to finally disembark. I was coughing up smoke and pretty damn pissed. I was done
Pode assistir de
playing
novo o
games with the
Titanic do
boys. It was
DiCaprio.
time to settle this once and for all.
Tá começando a aquecer, né? Mantém ela em rotação, mas não pode deixar aquecer muito. O problema dessas armas automáticas antigamente era... Ih, caralho. Acho que era o aquecimento, né? Na Primeira Guerra Mundial acho que tinha muito problema disso, dessas armas automáticas emperrar ou aquecer bastante. Eles vão ficar de um lado, agora é o lado esquerdo, né? Depois vão ficar no lado direito. Agora vamos vir pra cá, né? Não. Cadê? Caralho.
Bob and Grad weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side,
Oh, Lord.
determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
Duelo 2 contra 1. Isso aqui vai ser lendário. Nossa, filho da mãe. Mirei no errado. Vamos mirar nesse aqui. Agora acho que é esse aqui que vai sacar. Ah, filho da mãe, é o mesmo ainda. Caralho. Deixa eu aumentar aqui o som só pra melhorar o batimento. Vou de novo na cartola para que a variação pode ser ali agora. Tá, vou mirar no chapeuzinho. Volta o de cartola a atirar, né? A última vez que eu joguei, mano, esse duelo aqui foi, acho que foi na cagada que eu consegui ganhar.
They got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later, he moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
Vamos pegar isso aqui de prontidão. Aí já recarrega quando ativar a concentração já. É bom pra boss battle, né?
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told.
Agora é o passado do Silas.
It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, They were already dead.
Caralho.
And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
Pra quem assistiu Era Uma Vez no Oeste, né? O com o West. Aí é a referência, né? Esse passado do Silas. Só que lá no filme coloca uma gaita no lugar da moeda. Na boca do protagonista.
I've been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains.
É só procurar, acho que Upon West, ou Era Uma Vez no Oeste, Final do World. Aí vocês vão ver que a cena é igualzinha. Mas é bem legal essa referência. Isso que eu acho foda desse game, é de referência aos filmes western, né? Aos clássicos e os novos também.
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself.
Agora ele vai perseguir os caras que colocaram os irmãos dele.
Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right. They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop.
Acho que é. Nossa, papai.
I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Aumenta o Uncharted aqui. Corre, corre. Cara, imagina a construção dessas pontes na época, né? Como que devia ser, né? E suportar o peso do trem também.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
Isso aqui deve ser o cara da Gatling Gun no túnel. A missão aqui é foda.
Jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall.
Granadinha de... Tô de boa. Granada não, é dinamite. É, mas vai. A dinamite era a granada da época. Como combate, né? Ela tá...
What about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Eu vou ter do quê? Agora vamos para o caçador, né? Já upei o pistoleiro, atirador, caçador. Nossa, isso aqui é bom. Caramba, aumenta a resistência. Aumenta a capacidade de dinamite espingarda. Espingarda tanto faz, né? Mais legal isso aqui de aumentar a resistência. Agora eu vou pintar o quê? Pegar munição. Recomendo desse modo ter pouca munição. Né? Tá de boa. Não era bem da hora. Assim. Posso atirar no cadeado? O legal desse mod aqui, desse modo tem HUD, que é mais imersivo, né, que eu tenho. Bem que o trem não caiu. Caraca, levei queda dessa quedinha aqui. Pepita. George Flat Snows. Oi. Vamos subir.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a
You
hand.
mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Chegou a cavalaria. Grande grupo versus bando selvagem. Oh yeah.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Uma da hora, né? Faz uma entrada dramática e nada. Aqui é No Mercy. No Mercy. Os espingarda dele tem que focar na cabeça. Né? Se focar no corpo. Errou. A pimenta por perto? Deixa eu ver. Agora tô atrás dessa pepita. Falei que não tava, mas. Já que tem essa diquinha, é bom aproveitar, né? Apesar que acho que vai estar num lugar óbvio, né? Deixa eu ver. Aí eu vou entrar lá e vamos ver. Eu sei que é meio chato ficar procurando isso na live, né? Se tiver com vontade de fazer isso offline. O cara ficou na frente.
Guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did
Tá
they?
ligado?
Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Ali também. Dessa metralhadora que fica muito exposto. Um pouco não. Vamos. Ficar aqui mesmo, foda-se. Apesar que não tem como, né? Tá bem da hora também essa aqui, né? Ai, caralho. Vai ter que usar a Gatling, senão eu vou... Não vai demorar pra matar os caras. Tem bala aqui. E você vai... Vamos na esquerda agora. Eita!
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang.
Ah, não, é duelo mesmo.
After Sundance, I mean.
Esse aqui era.
And Kid Curry. And
Ele
maybe
tá com uma
Elsie
Gatling Gun lá no túnel.
though some folks might dispute that.
Aqui ele tá sem bigode, né? Foi.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Será que nessa época já existiu o canal do Panamá?
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Aí os caras tomam tiro e não morre. Tem gente que cai e já quebra o pescoço, imagina tomar tiro e não morrer, né? Ainda mais nessa época aí, né? Que o tratamento era mais complicado, né? De infecção. Esse aqui mesmo. A espingarda tanto faz, nem uso mesmo. O microfone tá ligado, live tá correndo de boa, tá. 1h30 para o inferno. Acho que eu vou ter que evitar que eles não explodam a ponte, né? Que nem no episódio anterior. Na missão anterior.
Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, as I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with them.
That Kid Curry's kinda crazy, ain't he?
Don't let him hear you saying that. Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado. Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down.
Bora mirar aqui.
Old Bob wasn't among them, and either was
Caramba,
Kid Curry.
sofreu bastante dano com
Sense him
quedinha, né?
close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Ah, eu consigo pular. Agora que eu reparei. Vamos lá no mapa.
A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific.
O cara curte explodir ponte, né?
The plan clearly indicated how they were
Vai ser
fixing to
esperto, porque
undermine
essas pontes aí
several of the
vão ser
weakest
bem
wooden
frágeis
supports.
pra explosão. E ainda era de madeira, né? Essas paradas. Não era nem de aço. Olha esse tá de trem passando aqui, né?
Kid
Já chama a
Curry was
atenção do
considered
caramba.
the wildest of the Wild Bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children.
Nossa,
Though some say it was only 5.
35 é... Cara,
Kid
Então, uma
Curry had
sociedade.
bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a
médio.
train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was going to rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me.
Flat Sally. Legal esses apelidos.
I hope you understand how badly my adventure might have ended had I not been as careful as hell. The bridge
Acho que
was
aqui é bom
rigged
usar o
with
revólver, né?
dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards.
Tirar a mina? Tirar a dinamite.
A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Caramba, barulho de serra, de cachorro, de carro acelerando. Se eu começar a fazer a live, parece esses barulhos já.
But the wild bunch did not take
Nossa, tirei o
kindly
chapéu
to
do cara,
my
né?
presence and attempted to blow my head off. It
Porque
appeared
dá
the
pra
kid
não
had found a number of new
atirar na
recruits to
dinamite.
bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
Cadê os caras?
Somebody really pissed this son of a bitch off. Son of a bitch!
Cadê? O PT? O PT blindado esse aqui.
So
Blindão.
what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Vou por aqui de boa. Então o retículo fica complicado, né, de mirar com essa duas pistolas, né? Oi?
So that was all the dynamite?
Well, funny you should mention that, darling. As actually there was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
Caralho. Porra, tirei na cabeça, o cara não caiu. Essa aí é uma variação mais forte do PT. Tem que jogar de novo. Tive que apelar. Que é o son of a bitch. Ei, amigo, que level esse cara? Esse cara tava bem na minha cara. Nossa. Tava recarregando na hora. Ah, de novo escopetei, não acredito. É, agora foi... Foi hit kill, né? Ainda bem. O Chester é mais precisa, mas o revólver é mais estiloso, né? Da hora ficar tirando com os dois revólver. Não aqui, né? Acho que já foi, já. Cadê o cara? Tem mais um, né?
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
Tem até uma print screen aqui, né? Onde? Eu nem sei se é por aqui. Peraí. Peraí. Ah, é por ali. Não que tinha que subir de novo.
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it.
Peguei impulso e pula.
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those
A Bupita vai ter que
My heart was
soltar, ó.
pounding like a sledgehammer.
Vai pagar.
I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally,
Vai,
the
vai.
last moment. Whew. Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass as I was not a young man anymore.
É aqui, aqui eu acho que é a boss battle lá do túnel.
Finally, I found those boys, or more precisely, they found me.
Thanks, Tracer. Kid Curry asked me.
Caramba! Ainda atingiu o cara ali em cima. Eu tenho que usar um Shatter aqui. Deu. Tá de olho na dinamite, né? Vou no chapéuzão pro cara ali.
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a
Aí, ó.
goddamn Gatling gun.
Cara, essa
It was
boss
hidden
battle
in
é
this tunnel
chata.
and pretty well shielded.
Ele manda, acho que uns pingardeiros. Assim. Aqui só tem como atirar dinamite. Não dá pra atirar dele. Ele tem tipo um cover bem blindado mesmo. Opa. E tem esses minions também enchendo o saco. Ah, vou ter que correr pra aquela carroça. Corre.
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my
Não sei
work
se
cut
vai
out for
alcançando.
me.
Vamos pra cá mesmo. Pegar a música aqui. Ali. Ih, caralho. Corre, corre, vai.
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down.
Ah, agora tá vindo a Bichopé.
That's where I
Rapidão,
met
acabei com ele.
Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
Mas ainda tem um duelo. Um clássico duelo. Vai acabar com chave de ouro. E esse aqui fica se movimentando. Esse aqui realmente parece um personagem do Borderlands. Pera aí, cara. Ixi, daí é rápido. Caralho, mano. Acho muito legal, muito da hora esses duelos do Call of Juarez, né? Do Red Dead fosse assim, ia ser bem da hora. Parece que é bem mais prático, né?
As he was, I was just a bit faster.
Ele é bem rápido mesmo.
And as he lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him. Those were his last words.
A precisão foi bem baixa.
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kinda glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Jesse James.
Jesse James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
Nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40
Caralho,
grand for
25
both
mil.
of them, dead or alive. That's one
Nossa.
hell of a payday.
Pra época isso aí ia ser muita coisa. Tem um Red Dead já ficar rico, imagina
Bullets were flying at me from every
Imagina
which
com
way.
25 mil.
But I knew I'd have to fight my way forward if I was gonna find this gem.
Opa. Tem um escudeiro aqui? Caralho. É rápido sim. Queria minha... Tem. Queria minha capeta do Marquinhos.
Now wait a second. Now, how'd they stop this train in the first place?
Well, the James boys were experts at this.
Diz a lenda, parava um trem. Pode olhar pra ele.
They hopped a freight train, having heard there was a big payroll in the express safe. So I hopped the same train.
Sai da frente.
The James Younger gang was decimated after that little fiasco they had in Northfield, Minnesota. So Jesse needed more men and took on the killer I was after, along with a host of others. I was hoping to find my man and put a bullet in his head. Climbing around that train, I must have swallowed 100 damn bugs before I
The
reached
James
that.
Younger gang pulled the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Everyone knows they were the most famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did I mention that that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell?
Esse revólver é muito lento de disparo, mano. Porque parece que ele é mais preciso, né? Dá pra ver melhor a mirinha. Acho que ele dá mais close. Ele travou. Aqui. Yes. Onde? Aí, ó. A cadência dela é bem maior.
Anyway, excuse me, Ben. Where would I find the gentleman's facilities? Suddenly I have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few drinks, and I've been sitting here for quite a spell.
Right through there. Let me show you.
Tá, ela tá um pouquinho louco de birita já. Por aqui, né?
I never heard so much malarkey in my life.
You think he's bullshitting us?
You don't think he's Silas Greaves?
I think he's just some old drunk looking for some free liquor.
O pessoal tá querendo. Tá começando a funcionar, né? A
Jack,
história.
I think I believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Boy, you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all.
Jack.
I mean, you gotta be 2 bricks short of a load to believe that cock and bull story.
I don't agree.
Jack, lay off the
But you
bar.
seriously think that tired old man went toe to toe with Jesse James?
Well, that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Starr? Of course, I didn't learn that until later. Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof. At some point, some bitch saw me and shouted out, "It's a damn Pinkerton!"
Pinkerton.
Now, I never worked for that lyman cocksucker, but I guess they assumed I was one of his assassins. Those evil bastards firebombed Jesse's mother's house and killed his stepbrother. So it's no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted me dead.
Caí aqui. Droga. É foda de ficar no tiroteio no trem, né? Tropeçar já era. Acho que seria bom uma escopeta mesmo. Mais um aqui, né? Acho que já foi.
Everybody's always mistaking you for somebody else, aren't they? Why is that, I wonder?
Don't rightly know, Jack. I'm just telling you how I remember.
I bet you are.
Muito da hora, né? O pessoal querendo desacreditar, né? Mas acho que esse cara ela fez isso de proposital, né? Porque no final vocês vão entender o porquê que ele tá contando essas histórias. Olha lá, né? Tá. Acho que tem que escalar e depois pular. Por aqui?
I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward. I wondered if I was ever going to find the front of that train, or the bastard I was after. Jesse hired a damn army after Northfield. Guess he didn't want to be outgunned like that ever again. Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
Yeah, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
Gatling guns.
Yes, I did. Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Ah, já deixei a
Where
escolha.
would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
Vai ter que continuar mais. Dá pra usar pegando. Caramba.
It was
Vou
definitely
perder de
safer
novo.
on the inside of the train.
Cara, esse jogo me deu uma vontade de jogar também, é Max Payne. Parece que esse jogo do Rockstar da Launch, do Launch da Rockstar, né, por exemplo. Acho que foi já. Tô avançando.
I was looking for Jim and shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way. And that included Jesse James himself.
Opa.
There sure were a lot of men determined to die that day. It was then that Jesse detached the express car from the rest of the damn train.
Beleza. Vou ficar escondido aqui, não dá pra...
I could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
Tem que passar na chão? Não.
You had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he didn't. Everybody knows that Jesse was killed by Bob Ford.
Yeah. Jesse went out
O legal é
like
que ele tá
John
se
Wesley
afastando
Hart.
do
Coward shot him in the
trem
back of the
descarregado.
head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you.
Nossa. O pouco tava muito aberto ainda. Ah, até que não. Eu vacilei mesmo. Esqueci, eu acho que eu desviei pro lado errado.
Yeah, I didn't kill Jesse James. Just wounded him bad enough to convince him to hang up his guns.
What about that Jim fella? What happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how I got him. But first I need to wet my whistle.
Opa. Vou ter aqui. Contra-ataque depois de usar um pressentimento. Da hora isso aqui. Vou pegar esse aqui, que é aumentar a munição. Já estamos perto do final já.
After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that sumbitch Jim. I followed those bastards into the high mountains as they were going to ground.
What mountains would that be?
Somewhere in the Ozarks, I believe. Perfect place to hide out from the authorities. In fact, before I could find them, some Indians who fled the Reds and were hiding out from the military found me first. They probably thought I was a cavalry scout and didn't want me telling the military where they were.
Engines?
Yeah, they could have been Cheyenne, but there was all sorts of renegades roaming the landscape back then.
Opa. Já que eu também tiro trespaça também, se atirar uma fileira, né? Bala trespaça, quer dizer. Trepassa.
Hey, how about another whiskey, Ben? Nothing better to soothe the troubled soul.
Ela virou um pinguço.
Now, where was I? Indians, right? I had more than my share of run-ins with the Redmen. Like that time.
Mas também nessa época, né? Não tem fácil.
Yes, sir.
Era dar tiro ou beber berito. Então umas
In
beritas.
fact, I can still remember that old medicine man's words to me.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul.
É que aquele chefe à parte falou, né?
And
No
kill
cenário.
many more men.
Lembra?
And the darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are.
So, did you ever find him?
Who?
The man you are after.
Let me ask you something, Ben. You ever think about death?
Mr. Greaves, are you all right?
Oh, death. Oh, death. Won't you spare me over till another year? What is this that I can't see? With ice cold hands taking hold of me. Well, I am death, none can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, death, someone would pray. Could you wait to call me another day? Oh, death, won't you spare me over till another year?
So, are you gonna answer the question?
What question is that?
Jim Reed. Did you ever find him?
Reed was indeed that son-bitch's surname. That's right, Ben. A despicable character. I remember him laughing like a hyena that cold morning they lynched me and my brothers. He was intent on avoiding my vengeance, but nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing.
Famoso sniper. É o Wolverine Sniper.
I finally did track those outlaws down. They had long rifles with scopes and were well positioned to pick off any poor soul who came anywhere close.
Cara. Bom, pra ver ali. Corre, 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 vai. O caralho, tava no...
I'm guessing Frank James believed I was responsible for the demise of his brother Jesse. I couldn't really disagree with the man, as I thought Jesse was dead then as well. He backed off as I closed in on him, but he was still intent on killing me. And when I closed in on him again, he backed off again, looking for a better angle on me. Hell, I can't fault Frank for wanting his revenge, as I was there for the same damn reason myself. At this point, I'm guessing you think Silas Greaves is a worse murderer than Jim Reed ever was.
No, sir.
A man who spent half his life killing somebody's brothers, fathers, sons.
I think you were just looking for justice, sir.
Is that what I was looking for, Dwight? Is that what it was? Justice?
Isn't that why you were hunting the James gang?
The James gang. Right. I finally found Frank holed up in his mountain cabin, and he was determined to have me dead. It was a pistol battle that could have gone either way. Luckily, I had some dynamite in my possession. A few sticks, just in case. It's always good to be prepared.
Right.
I'm just laying out the facts as I remember them, Jack. And that old shack, well, it went tumbling right off that cliff.
With Frank James still in it?
Yes, sir.
But Frank James is still alive, living in Missouri, showing folks around the family farm for 25 cents a tour.
I didn't say he died in the fall, now did I?
I'm done with this damnable outlaw life. Kill me, don't kill me, do what you will. At this point, I just don't give a shit.
I explained to Frank that I had nothing against him personally and that I was looking for someone else.
You want Reed? Have at him. I never did like that bastard. I am done here.
We parted in peace as Frank pointed out the path to my prey before making his way back down the hill.
Ora, por essa ninguém esperava, né? Não que era tão duelo. Não, cadê essa pepita? Ah, foda-se, vamos lá.
So what happened with Reed?
Well, I finally found the last of the gang hiding in a nearby cave. First, I had to dispatch the lookouts.
Ela não caiu, não?
But I was determined not to let that murderer escape my revenge again.
Os caras são sinistros. Ah, porra. E agora eu tô precisando aqui ter precisão e menos agressivo e mais preciso. Foi todo mundo? Não. Agora foi. Não. Caramba.
Rather than wander in willy-nilly, I decided it would be better to smoke that sumbitch out. Hey, Reed! I shouted. No wonder you're so ornery. Can't be easy being married to Belle Starr. While you're off providing for the family, she's spreading her legs for every Tom, Dick, and Cole Younger. Not an attractive woman exactly, but very friendly. At least she was to me. Son of a bitch!
Tô com uma ferida.
The last bunch of bandits jumped out of hiding.
Why won't this asshole
Foi esperto.
Would someone please kill him?
Dá uma dinamite aí. Tá. A gente tem essa brechinha, né? Tá de olho. Deu é só ficar numa brechinha e tá me expondo muito. Ixi. Cadê? Caramba, é muito inimigo, velho. Vamos ver.
Eventually,
Ó,
it was
foi
just
tudo.
me and Reed. I had waited a long time to face him down,
Esse cara tava vestido
so I could
com roupa
repay him for what he
indígena.
did to my brothers.
Esse aqui tá mais fácil de focar.
And repay him I did. Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty bait.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame you never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at him. Six months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang. I tracked them down, hoping that Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with them.
So you're saying they didn't die down in Bolivia?
That's what I'm saying.
Os caras foram lá pra Bolívia, mano. Essa aqui é já é a última missão, galera. E, nossa, o duelo dessa missão é muito foda. Já pelo título, vocês já vão ver como que vai ser o naipe, né, do duelo. Cara, é muito louco. Bora lá. Mas antes do duelo vai ter um combate bem complicado.
Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now.
Ixi.
Both Johnny Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly. But the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant, that son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again.
Vou tirar com a chefe mesmo.
I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
But for all you know, he could have been dead.
That thought had indeed crossed my mind, as did others.
Será que tem a capeta de marfim aqui?
For
Ah,
instance,
deixa pra lá.
did my
Vou
thirst
achar
for
um
vengeance turn me
depósito de
into
munição aí
something
pra
worse
gente
than the man I was after? By this point in my storied career, I had killed more men than Bob Bryant ever had. I was furious as hell at that bastard for making me who I am. Nothing could stop me from taking his life. I've been after that killer forever.
Cadê?
From the time I rode with Billy the Kid. But that chapter of my story you already know.
Chapter of that fairy tale, you mean?
Suddenly it was 1910. There I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades. The town was falling apart, just like me.
Onde é? Aqui. Aqui mesmo.
But I wasn't about to call it quits.
Ah, errei. Bosta.
Even though the ghosts of my dead brothers were begging me to end what I started so long ago.
Cadê?
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there. They were after a treasure they had hidden before they fled, buried in the grave of a dead amigo. Some folks think the town is haunted, so they figured there wouldn't be many people poking around. I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. But like I said, the bandits knew I was on to them. They lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
Casinha tá caindo nosso pedaço. Vai durar muito não. Caramba, caralho. Dois tiros de um chefe, cara, na frente. Nossa. É, só fica ligando, né? Caramba, que me cai.
Actually, in that moment, I did not prevail. So I suppose we're talking to a ghost. Funny you should put it like that, Jack. Because when I woke up,
from the dead?
there was silence all around me. I could swear to God I saw Billy then.
Billy who?
Billy, the kid. William Bonney. He was shooting at me from a rooftop. Here, there, even over there.
So I am right. You are toasted in the head.
Mr. Graves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer, Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me, guns a-blazing. But I knew that old war horse had died 2 years before. I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition. I saw Henry Plummer throw dynamite at me.
Chuveiro da dinamite. Colocar o Chester.
And in the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin, just like I remembered him.
Pegar a munição aqui. Cadê? Caramba, tô... Ah, tá vindo. É difícil matar, mirar em fantasma, né? Ainda mais com essa névoa. Acho que no vídeo não vai dar nem pra enxergar direito, né? Ah, já estamos perto da fase final mesmo. Essa fase aqui é tensa. Aqui vai vir uma onda, vai vir um monte de onda de inimigos, né? Cadê? Tá. E aí?
Ghost army was stopping me.
My father-in-law got hit with a fallen branch. He spent the rest of his life talking to dogs.
Mas acho que o Sala tá fazendo isso de propósito só pra o pessoal pensar que ele é meio maluco, né? É que eu não posso spoiler, né? Daqui a pouco vocês vão ver o vídeo. Onde é? Nossa, essa fase aqui é... Eu me lembro dela. E o ruim é que ela não tem cover direito. As sepulturas aqui não dá nem pra dar cover direito aqui. Vou só ficar aqui no centro, né? Mas... Eles vão vir por todos os lados aqui agora. Cadê? Agora que eu tenho a parada aqui, né? O checkpoint. Eu vou ter que ficar aqui no meio. Agora vem ondas atrás de ondas de fantasmas. Cada vez mais numeroso. Tem que focar num lado, né? Quando eles vierem, focar somente num lado.
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead.
Cadê? Aí.
George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed, each one deader than the next. I thought I would go crazy. Thought.
Cadê? Aí, ó. Isso não tem cover. Ai.
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead.
Eu vou usar um Chester mesmo.
George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond. Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next.
Vou recuperar, caralho. Nossa, na minha frente.
Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longapop.
The Sundance Kid?
Like a general leading his Legion of the Dead.
Who told us before that you'd see him alive?
He was alive.
Me afastei demais, né? Ai. Não deu tempo. Ai, droga. Só vamos afastar e tentar atirar com um Winchester, né? Eu pra cá. Tira o caralho. Cadê? Nossa, ultrapassou a parede. Cara, 101 anos. Nossa, ele tomou muito pouco dano. Por aqui.
Called to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker, a.k.a. Butch Cassidy, coming at me from out of the fog.
Thanks for taking care of that bastard.
Agora é o clássico duelo. Vamos ver quem vai pegar a referência. O bom e o mal e o morto.
But the kid wasn't quite deceased. Not yet.
Takes more than one little bullet to kill the likes of me, partner.
Those two looked like they hadn't seen each other for quite a while. Clearly, they were no longer amigos.
Amigos.
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you. You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
Esse duelo aqui vai ser mais complicado, porque aqui eu acho que varia a rotação, né, de quem vai atirar. Por exemplo, se um atirar, não morrer, na outra rodada vai ser outro que vai atirar. Então vai...
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question. But those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
Quando eu estiver olhando pro outro cara, aí eu aperto ele. Aí, ó. Se eu estiver olhando pro Sunday, aperto o quê? Assim.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery not 6 months ago.
Então essa aí é a live, galera. Obrigado por assistirem. Fiquem aí com o final. E até a próxima. Depois eu upo. Até mais.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed by the Bolivian army. Everybody knows that.
That's the legend, but it ain't the truth.
So, you never found Bob?
There is no Bob. This old sumbitch ain't even Silas Greaves.
Sir, is that true? Have you been pulling our legs this whole time?
Well, not the whole time.
Oh man, I think you've worn out your welcome here.
Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe it's time to pay. You see, Ben, or should I say Bob, your past always catches up with you.
I was a different man back then, crazy. Drinking, I've changed my ways, I swear to you. If I could turn back the clock,
But you can't, Bob.
Why'd you toy with me like that? Telling those tales, knowing all along. Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Wanted to suss you out, Bob. See what kind of man you turned out to be. Maybe prod you into drawing on me. See, all those years on your trail turned me into a killer. Can't even remember who I was before you tried to murder me. You, on the other hand, walked that very same path in exactly the opposite direction.
What do you mean by that?
You think your life is worth sparing, Bob? Boy, what's your name again?
It's Eisenhower, sir. Dwight Eisenhower.
What do you plan to do with your life, Dwight Eisenhower?
Tomorrow I'll be leaving for West Point, sir.
So, you want to be a soldier? Well, then do it right, son. Don't tear down the world out of anger and spite like I did. You build it up. You do something decent with your life, you hear me?
Sir? Yes, sir.
I won't have it said I left you with nothing, Bob. Won't you spare me over till another year?